Does the soul exist without the body? Is the soul immortal? When a living dies, does its soul die too? Is the soul a fiction? The video series on the soul introduce some results of my journey to find out the truth regarding the above four questions. The contents of the video series include Western philosophy and Christianity, Eastern philosophy, and other religions such as Buddhism, and more. This video introduces the fifth part of the video series. The title of the fifth part is Christian Doctrine on the Soul.
Many say, the Bible speaks of the annihilation of the soul, not the immortality of the soul. An example of this in the Bible is as follows.
New Testament, Matthew Gospel, chapter 10, clause 28, says, "Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell." New Testament Revelation, from chapter 20, clause 12 to 15, says, "And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were opened. Another book was opened, which is the book of life. The dead were judged, according to what they had done, as recorded in the books. The sea gave up the dead that were in it, and death and Hades gave up the dead that were in them, and each person was judged, according to what he had done. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is the second death. If anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire." Old Testament Ezekiel, chapter 18, clause 4, says, "For every living soul belongs to me, the Father, as well as the Son. Both alike belong to me. The soul who sins is the one who will die." Many say the Bible tells us in detail about the death of the soul that has sinned, and the second death, which means the death of that soul, and tells us to keep the life of the soul by keeping the commandments of God while we are alive, so that we do not suffer this second death.
There are churches that deny the immortality of the soul. The representative denominations are Jehovah's Witnesses and Seventh-day Adventist Church.
The Jehovah's Witnesses churches say the theory of the annihilation of the soul. It claims when the body dies, the soul also perishes. The Seventh-day Adventist Church insists on sleep of the soul rather than the annihilation of the soul. In other words, it asserts that the soul enters a state of sleep rather than annihilation. It means that the soul falls asleep. This claim is considered to be similar to the theory of the immortality of the soul.
is also an assertion that the existence of the soul apart from the body, which is the basis of the theory of the immortality of the soul, is clearly the teaching of the Bible.
It is also claimed that there is nowhere in the Bible to say that the soul is immortal and eternal. There is also an argument that the Bible clearly tells us that the soul that has sinned shall die.
There are Christian denominations that claim that the theory of the immortality of the soul is heresy.
Book of Truth gives us the truth about the soul. These video series do not explain the content of the truth about the soul in Book of Truth. Book of Truth was written in English by Roy and published by Great Time. If you select the books section in the U.S. Amazon website and type Book of Truth Roy, you will find Book of Truth, its introduction, and its book review sites. The fifth part of the six-part Soul video series ends here.